Hello and welcome to Nailed On with John and Kris. Welcome to our Captaincy tier episode where we're going to go through all the best options this week and help you make that all-important decision. So we're going to start off by going through the fixtures, and the first fixture of the week, Kris, is Leeds at home to West Ham.
Yeah, so obviously Patrick Bamford is the first choice, isn't he, John?
Yeah, good value, solid option right there. Anytime goal scorer odds of 42% for Bamford, which is pretty nice. But there's probably going to be better options this week.
Yeah, so a solid C tier for Bamford that we decided on for this game. Okay, so we'll move on to Saturday's game. So Newcastle, West Brom. So Callum Wilson, how's his odds looking?
Yeah, similar scenario to Bamford there. So 42% anytime goal scorer chance. Bear in mind he is on penalties, which is a bit of a plus. And another solid option being West Brom. But again, there's going to be kind of more viable fixtures for us. A good C tier once again.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, then, so Man United, Man City. So obviously, managers going to be tempted by Bruno Fernandes, obviously in red hot form, and obviously there's KDB as well, who's obviously returned to really good form for Man City.
Yeah, as you said, Fernandes, brilliant form, but this is a very tough fixture. They're at home to Man City, who've just kept 4 clean sheets on the bounce, and they are going to be very strong defensively, and I do not fancy the Man U offence in this fixture. No. So for that reason, I think Fernandes is a bit of an avoid this week, and we're actually placing him as a D tier. There's going to be better options in your team. And when you look at Man City, you don't really look beyond KDB. Anytime goal scorer odds, only 33%, but he's still a strong option, isn't he, Kris?
Yeah, well, obviously you've got to consider more with KDB. Obviously, the assist potential, we've seen that over the last couple of games. Didn't play Champions League midweek as well, so looking like back to his best. Really good option, and is on penalties as well. So yeah, solid B tier for KDB this week.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So we'll move on to Chelsea Everton. So we're not going to mention the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin because Chelsea are a very good defence and it's not a nice fixture for Everton. But there's only really Timo Werner that we want to pull out here, isn't there, John?
Yeah, the main man for Chelsea right now looks to be getting better and better as the year goes on. We know he's on penalties. He is probably going to be playing on the left once again if Abraham plays up front, which does devalue him. And this is not the best fixture. So he should, we should talk about him, but I don't think he's going to be the best captaincy option in your team.
No, and obviously you've got the likes of Giroud as well, who potentially could play through that middle. So, I mean, yeah, he's a C tier for us and a Timo Werner this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move on to Sunday's game. So Southampton versus Sheffield United. So Danny Ings returned earlier in the week and returned a goal.
Yeah, so he scored the penalty, and it's good to see him scoring straight away. So it does look like he's match fit and ready to go after his injury. And this is a good fixture at home to Sheffield, really tasty on paper. I mean, he goes in with one of the best anytime goal scorer odds of any of the players. So that's 51% this week. So a really nice punt, a bit of a differential there. Someone that you might want to consider targeting.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there's a little bit of a worry, isn't there, with how many minutes he may get is my only reservation, just because he came back from injury, but a really solid option this week. So we move on to Crystal Palace versus Spurs then.
Just to clarify, we'll put Danny Ings at the B tier.
Oh, yeah, good job. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, so Palace versus Spurs. So Son and Kane are the main two, obviously, to pull out on there.
Yeah, red hot form, owned by many managers, and generally either one of them is going to be a safe bet for captaincy this week. You can't really go wrong with them. And it's a fairly nice fixture once again. It's a nice fixture this week. So yeah, both looking good. Kane has anytime goal scorer odds of 50%, really strong. Son a bit lower at 40%, but bear in mind they're both racking up assists and assisting one another. So both two very good options there.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously Kane's probably a little bit more favourable, as you said, with the anytime goal scorer odds. Obviously, Son's got the extra point potential by being in midfield. But for us, Kane's an A tier and Son just slightly lower as a B tier.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. So, the nice fixture next. So Liverpool versus Fulham. So there's one key man we want to pull out, but there's potentially another one as well, isn't there, John?
Yeah. So of course, look no further than Salah. Brilliant option this week. We are a bit concerned about the fact he played 90 minutes, as many managers will do, but he's the kind of player that tends to play these fixtures. We haven't seen his minutes managed too much in the past. in similar scenarios. So Salah should be good for the 90. And if he is, he's the best captaincy option on paper this week for us. And Mane, bear in mind, did not play midweek. He came on as a sub, but he's looks almost guaranteed to get in that lineup against a weak Fulham defence. So 2 brilliant options in both of those.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously Salah goes straight in as an S tier, doesn't he? Top
Best
pick of the week. Yeah, and then Mane's an A tier for us. So obviously, yeah, Fulham defensively have been so poor this season, and at home notably have been even worse in terms of conceding goals. So I'm expecting some really nice points from Salah, who I will be captaining. Okay, then, so we'll move on to Arsenal versus Burnley. So obviously we've mentioned Aubameyang most weeks. It's another nice fixture on paper. He's been playing through the middle the last couple of games. He's down as a midfielder, so he's got the extra point potential. So why are we putting him at the B tier, John?
Yeah, so we think he's still a good option. I still would endorse an Auba pick. He's certainly a differential, but he just doesn't quite look the same this season. That kind of goal scoring, hunger for goals, we haven't really seen as much this season. And Arsenal aren't having their strongest start, as we know. So for that reason, he is far less reliable, it seems, and there should be better options, and certainly better options to target at that price point. If you're still on him by now, it's probably worth thinking of moving to the likes of Salah or KDB if you can bring them in.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then, so the last fixture of the weekend is Leicester versus Brighton. So Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, so solid Jamie Vardy, good chance of scoring. I mean, he goes in anytime goal scorer odds, would implies 51% chance of scoring. So a nice option there, up there with some of the highest this week. So he should definitely be considered. Goes in as a solid B tier for us.
Yeah, obviously we put him as an S tier, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago against Fulham, and he only returned an assist, but scored again last week. He's not playing tonight in the Europa League, so yeah, really solid option this week for Jamie Vardy at home to Brighton. Yeah,
so some good options. It's worth, as we mentioned, Salah is our S tier, and both of our captains captain this week. He is 57% anytime goal scorer chance. So I think if you have him in your team, it's a pretty easy decision. We think so, but otherwise, best of luck with your decision.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Best of luck. See you later.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.